Hello, my name is Kelsey Peters, and today I will be talking about the Picture Exchange Communication System, otherwise known as PECS.
Hi. Ready? I see your ready hands. What are you ready for? Want to see Tessie using our words?
What does she want?
What's it look like she wants to see? I want oranges.
See?
Good job.
She told ya.
Yep, she told me exactly what she wanted. Was that cool?
So what is the Picture Exchange Communication System, or PECS? PECS is a non-electronic form of Aided, Augmented, and Alternative Communication, or AAC. It is non-electronic because, as you saw from the video, it requires no batteries. It consists of a communication board, binder, or book that has icons or pictures of items in the child's environment, and it is secured by Velcro. The child can remove the icons to give to their communication partner. The Picture Exchange Communication System was first developed by Andy Bondi and Lori Frost at the Delaware Autism Program in 1985. This system was meant to teach children who lack spoken language skills to initiate requests and to describe what they observe via pictures. It is an applied behavior analytic program that integrates B.F. Skinner's behavior theories. It relies on direct reinforcement. Bondi and Frost used PECS with a variety of children with autism, and many of them learned to communicate with spoken language, or they learned to speak using PECS. Nowadays, PECS is produced by Pyramid Educational Consultants. How do you use PECS? Well, PECS involves the exchange of pictures or icons between a child and their communication partner. The child gives the pictures to their communication partner in order to communicate their needs, their wants, their thoughts, or even to comment. In order to use PECS, the communication partner and child both must go through training. The child must learn PECS through its 6 phases: initial communication training, retrieval and delivery of icons, icon and item discrimination, phrases, answering questions, and commenting. Each phase gets more complex and requires the user to use more expressions and communication skills. The phases are recommended to be done in order, and the user must reach an adequate amount of correct responses per phase in order to move on to the next phase. In the first phase, initial communication training, the child is taught that they can get access to an item by giving their communication partner the picture of that item. A child's preferred reinforcer, a toy that they want, or food, is used for this phase in order to gain their interest. Once the child gives their communication partner the picture, the child is allowed the item for a very short period of time and then taken away. In the second phase, retrieval and delivery of icons, the child is taught to independently give the icon to their communication partner, who is not immediately available to them. This means that the partner may have their back turned, may be farther away from them, or maybe even in the next room. The child has to learn to go grab the icon and deliver it to their partner in order to get their item.
Hi, I want baseball. Here you go, Evan. Here you go. Here you go, Evan. I want baseball. There it is. All right, let's go, man. Let's do this. Strike 1. Strike 2. All right, here he goes, Evan Brown. He goes, the crowd goes crazy. He runs to first base.
So, as you saw in the video, the child had to go to their book and then go directly find their communication partner and to gain the item that they wanted. In the third phase, icon and item discrimination, children learn to choose from multiple pictures. They learn that different icons or pictures get them access to different items, leading them to learn to choose the desired icon for the desired item. The fourth phase, phrases, the child is taught to use sentence strips in combination with the icons to make requests. For example, they can use an I want sentence strip with a ball icon to say, I want the ball. Here's another example of the fourth phase of PECS.
I want tomatoes.
When I'm done making this, I can relax and enjoy my trip to France. But as you're watching,
As you saw in the video, the child combined the I want sentence strip along with the pictures of tomatoes in order to gain access to the tomatoes. Also notice how the communication partner, instead of just giving the tomatoes to the child right away, they read the sentence strip out loud to communicate what the user was trying to say. I want tomatoes. In the fifth phase, answering questions, the child learns to answer questions asked by the communication partner using sentence strips and pictures. The child learns to associate specific questions, like what do you want, with specific sentence responses, giving the I want sentence strip. In the final phase, commenting, the child is led to use sentence strips to comment on their environment, like I see and I hear. This phase is usually less successful in some children because the other phases use direct reinforcement. They gain something they want. In this phase, commenting only results in social reinforcement. Altogether, the 6 phases teach the student to communicate, request, and comment with the people around them. Materials and availability. The materials used in the picture exchange communication system typically involve a book, a 3-ring binder in this case, or a board. It also uses laminated pictures of items or icons in the child's environment and Velcro. The book can easily be made at home by just simply buying the materials at a store. All one needs is a binder, Velcro, and pictures of the items in the child's environment. One can create the icons using the site boardmaker.com. On the site, you can easily create your own icons or download icons that other people have created. One can also purchase completed PECS books online on the Pyramid Educational Consultants website or even sites like Amazon. Books can vary in cost depending on the size and the amount of icons. For example, on Amazon, I found this relatively small PECS book that cost $27. I also found a larger book that cost $40. As you can see, this book is a little bit bigger and the icons are better as well. And the last picture that I found, this book cost $82. The reason being the board is better material, is better quality, and the PECS book that comes along with it also has more symbols as well. As I mentioned before, the communication partner, the person that works with the child directly, also needs training. Training is another cost associated with PECS. The price for training ranges from $540 to $1,500 depending on the course taken. The price increases from PECS Level 1 to PECS Level 2 to even PECS Manager. The difference between the levels is just the amount of training received. The training is offered online as well as in person and across cities in the U.S. Targeted audience. PECS is designed to be used as an early nonverbal communication training system. It is meant to be used by young children who lack an effective system of functional communications. What that means is that the child is not able to be understood by the people around them. They cannot express their needs or wants. They are also failing to communicate with their partners, so they face frustration. Furthermore, the communication system they are currently using does not allow them to communicate spontaneously, meaning they cannot communicate on a whim. Children who have autism are good candidates for PECS training due to the large number of individuals with autism who have little to no verbal communication. In fact, a third of children with autism are estimated to be nonverbal. PECS is not meant for children who have high functioning communication skills. For example, even though a child with Asperger's has a form of autism, they would not be a good candidate because they are usually able to communicate their needs and wants via verbal messages. PECS can also be used by a variety of other disabilities, including those with brain tumors, cerebral palsy, Down syndrome, cognitive impairments, developmental delays, Turner syndrome, speech delays, so on and so forth. So what are the benefits to using PECS? Specifically, what are the benefits of using PECS with children with autism? The Picture Exchange Communication System is a popular form of AAC with children with autism because of the advantages that benefit autistic children. One advantage of PECS is that it is a highly visual form of AAC. It requires users to use pictures to communicate. This benefits children with autism because there is evidence that suggests that those with autism are highly visual learners. Those with autism also prefer consistent and explicit objects and ideas, which PECS meets with its nice concrete symbols. PECS also benefits those with autism because it reduces confusion, specifically language confusion, with the fact that it has one-to-one correspondence. One picture only means one thing. Disregarding the target audience, PECS also has its own advantages in that it is relatively cheap to make or buy. The materials are durable so that they don't easily wear down and break, which can also save money because one does not need to replace materials very often. Due to it being low tech, it cannot experience technology failure like some other electronic AAC devices, like speech generating devices or voice output communication aids. Lastly, PECS can be tailored to the user. One can generate pictures easily depending on the items in a child's environment. PECS also has its disadvantages as well. One of the main disadvantages of PECS is that it requires a communication partner. If there is no one around with the user to receive the icons, the user cannot communicate their needs and wants. In this way, it also limits a child's independence because they must rely on a communication partner. It is also limited in communication overall. Some concepts and ideas cannot simply be put into a picture, so the child is limited to very simple communication. The user may become frustrated because the thing that they want to communicate doesn't have an icon. How to use academically with students with autism. Children with autism who are nonverbal may struggle in academic settings because they cannot communicate their thoughts to the teacher and the children around them. They may also face frustration in not being able to communicate, which might isolate them socially. PECS can help students with autism in academic settings because it gives them a voice. With PECS, students can voice their thoughts and participate in class along with their peers. By being able to communicate their needs, wants, and thoughts, children with autism have the possibility of lessening their frustrations, allowing them to spend more time learning. They can also use PECS to communicate with their own peers. The communication partner would act as a relay between the user and the other child that they want to talk to, allowing for socialization. Thank you for watching my presentation. I hope you have learned something about the picture exchange communication system.